It's good. It's Rocky Balboa. Yo, Adrian!
Hey everyone, Adam Lupus here from the Up and Adam Show, bringing you back the old school vibes of late night television. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. My name is Adam Lupus. Thank you all for joining me once again. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy this episode because we're doing something really cool today, and it actually has to do with something that's right behind me. Rocky Balboa, ladies and gentlemen. Sylvester Stallone just did a director's cut of Rocky 4. It's called Rocky 4, Rocky versus Drago. Guys, I have to say, I really loved it. And I kind of want to just talk about it, my thoughts, some things I liked, some things I didn't like. It's going to be a really fun episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. And Sly, if you're watching, come on the show. You're going to love it. I'm a great guy, big fan. The beginning of the movie actually starts off different than the original. I really like how this one started off more on a heart-to-heart moment with Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa. As you can tell, they have a great relationship, and Apollo Creed was like Rocky's mentor after Mickey passed away. And in Rocky 3, when Mickey passed away, you could see Rocky was like down in the dumps. Like, he lost to Clubber Lang, and he kind of had this like ego death with himself, right? He didn't know who he was anymore, and he was afraid to fight, and he didn't know what to do. And Apollo Creed really kind of put him back on his feet, helped him train. And it was like Apollo Creed said, you got to, the way to get back is to start from the beginning. And that's really important because sometimes, when we think we're on the top, we forget where we actually came from. And that happened with Rocky. He got so big with the hype and the fame, in Rocky 3 that he ultimately forgot who he was. He forgot why he got into it in the first place. Rocky was, again, he was a nobody. He got the one shot of a lifetime to fight Apollo Creed, the heavyweight champion of the world, and ended up winning. So, after he wins in Rocky 3 and redeems his title, it's all happy-go-lucky. And then Rocky 4 comes along, and now it's kind of like Apollo's having this kind of ego death now with himself. Apollo kind of, he's been out of the spotlight for a few years now, about 5 years in the movie, they say 4 or 5 years. He hasn't fought anybody, and, and he's been retired, right? Ever since Rocky took over the title. But, Apollo sees this Russian guy, in the Russian, he's new to the sport. He's had one victory. He's like this big, he's on steroids, as you can see later on in the movie, this big intimidating person. But Apollo Creed, he's like drawn towards him, wants to fight him. And it's almost like he wants to prove himself. Honestly, it's not even for anybody else but Apollo Creed. That's what I took from it, because it's not like he says like, I want to do it because I want to have the spotlight or the fame or this, that again. But in the movie, you could tell when Rocky and Apollo are sitting with each other, it's like Rocky even tells him, he goes, this fight with the Russian, are you sure it's not like you against you? So it's almost like Apollo's battling with himself. So it's like he has to get his ego in line and in check, because sometimes when you do things for the wrong reasons, it can have a negative result and can backfire on you. And essentially it does in this movie when Apollo Creed dies. Some of the differences between this movie and the original, I really like how they took a lot of the filler scenes away. In Rocky 4, the original, you see Rocky in the beginning, it starts off with him again fighting Clubber Lang, winning, goes into Rocky 4, happy-go-lucky. It's Paulie's birthday. They got the nice robot, which again, the robot is in love with Paulie. I mean, who doesn't? Paulie's a stud. This movie's different because, again, it shows Rocky and Apollo's relationship more, and it's more faster paced. From the beginning of the movie to when Apollo Creed dies, there's like a shorter gap. And it really just focuses after that, Rocky just living with that guilt because he feels like he was the one responsible for Apollo's death, which is why it pushes him and motivates him to fight Ivan Drago. He didn't want Apollo to die for nothing. But, some scenes that I liked in this movie too, when Apollo Creed dies, there's a funeral scene. And I'm not sure if this happened in the original. I don't think so. But there's a scene when Rocky's having a speech and like he's like talking about Apollo and he's crying, tearing up. And he puts the belt on the grave. I don't think that happened in the original, and that scene really makes you understand after all why he's doing this fight for Apollo Creed. Like, he really loved him. He cared about him as a brother more than a friend and more than a trainer. Another cool scene that I like is, again, the training montages. are so sick. They're pretty much the same. I think there was one extra scene they added in with Rocky like punching like a punching bag, and that wasn't in the original, so that was pretty cool. There's a really really cool scene in the movie when Rocky's fighting Ivan Drago and he falls and he gets knocked down.
Breathe. Don't be scared.
Get up. Come on, you could do it. Like he's just kind of talking, like motivating himself, and he gets up and he goes, and it's like he tells his son,
Like going in one more round when you don't think you can. This makes all the difference in your life.
That's the quote that I live by day to day. For anybody who doesn't know that and who doesn't know me, I live by that quote because it's so true. You're going in that one more round when you don't think you can. It literally, I'll tell you an example. Let's say you're really pushing for something, right? You really want to go after something, and you're getting knocked down by all these hardships and all these little hurdles and everything. If you stop right there, you'll never know what it's like to go that extra round, if you will, right? So I just think it's really interesting that quote moves me, and it's something that I live by, and it really motivates me. Sylvester Stallone has that thing with him, like he just knows how to really uplift you and make you passionate about something and push you towards your goals. After all, again, guys, he came from nothing, and he made the biggest impact in the world, not even just in the entertainment industry, in the movie industry, in the world. So he's a big inspiration to me and to the whole world. I'm a real big fan of his, and he's one of my idols, and hopefully one day I would love to meet him. Back again to this movie, the way it ends, I have to say, like, that was one of the things I had a little bit of a critique on. Not that it was bad. At the end of the day, you can't go wrong with a Rocky movie, and any way it's cut or edited, it's always gonna be fantastic. But I really like at the end. So in the original, you have the premiere and everybody stand up and they clap for Rocky when he wins, right? And it's almost as if like they're showing a sign of respect. Like, it's like, wow, wow, he did it. He actually bet this guy who we thought, Ivan Drago was like this indestructible human being, right? This monster guy, this like, you know what I mean? So they clapped for him. And then the new one, they didn't do that. The premier got up, looked at the guy who was like, on Drago's team, and he just left. And then you had that guy there just standing with his like head down, like in shock. And then at the very end, the iconic scene when like Rocky goes, if I can change, you can change, then everybody can change, right? That scene is still in there, but when they play Hearts on Fire in the original, he holds up the flag against that iconic freeze frame. They took that out. They took out that best part. I loved that was like an iconic shot. They took it out. And so instead of that, what they did was they showed a still shot. He's walking away, and then he has like the robe that says Balboa on it, and it's a freeze frame of that, and it's playing Eye of the Tiger. I thought that was pretty cool too, but I guess you can't go wrong with like the original, like the freeze frame. But again, like they're both great, so it's just all preference at this point. But overall, guys, I think this movie I liked it better than the original. I just think even some the ways like they edited it, again, even the fight, like there's some points when Drago hit him, it was like it would go like like that. It would be like a white flash, and it would be like slow motion of Rocky falling for a second. And then, it has that inner monologue in his head when he was talking to himself. That was so cool. It's like the little details that make all the difference in the movie. Oh, there's also one more really cool scene that I liked. Remember in Rocky 2 when Rocky's telling Adrian, like, Adrian, listen, I never asked you to stop being a woman. Please, don't ask me to stop being a man. He says that again in this one, in this cut. I thought that was so cool. And it was a nice nod to the original films when he told Adrian that. And it's almost as if he's basically just reminding her of who he really is as a person. Because again, guys, remember, it's like I said, she's looking out for his best interest at the end of the day. She loves him. She cares about him. She doesn't want him to die. But he's reminding her, like, this is who I am. I'm a fighter. Like, I need to do this. All in all, guys, great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, rent it. It's great, guys. You're going to love it. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. Yo, Adrian, I did it!